What's up with the squad? Back with another video. I see the title's going out. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button for me, please. Y'all see it right here. So look, check this out. So first and foremost, I definitely say that, this video starts with, and obviously they'll show the clip. Obviously, The View doesn't already show the full clips of when they're showing, people that they're bashing or, talking about. So you literally have, President Trump speaking on Iran, saying that, that basically things are completed, but they're not. It's still things that they need to do. And I'm sure many of y'all have seen the clips when it comes down to it. But The View here, they love to keep things up. They love to keep going. They love to, be negative about a lot of things. You literally have Joy. It says right here, inciting violence from what she says right here. Check this out.
Oh, God.
Did he just say it's both?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
He speak with forked tongue.
Like Snake. Does it seem like we're going to be getting... So what does this tell you? This is mixed messages, and we're used to that, but what is your gut feel?
I feel like we're living in the reign of terror. Am I the only one here to remember the French Revolution? I really feel like every day I wake up and he has created more chaos, more misery around the world. The economy is going down the toilet. Gas prices are going through the roof. World economies are suffering. And we're in the middle of this, and I feel like we're pretty much helpless to do anything because the Republican Party will not stand up to this fall. That's all.
Let me explain something to y'all. It's a few things before I get into, more of these videos. More of the videos that I have to show y'all. The first thing is that I find completely interesting about the whole thing is that when it was the Biden administration, nobody had nothing to say. Nobody had nothing to say. Biden wouldn't really even talk and speak to anybody. Kamala already didn't. You know what? We didn't see her. I didn't really see Kamala at all in the picture. Not even visiting places. I don't know about y'all, but I haven't. But you literally have Biden. It's not really even a blame game when it comes down to it. It's more so of giving that understanding to a lot of people that you have a president that is doing the best he can, because of the things that has been messed up. You literally have a president that's doing way more than the Biden administration, really way more in a while, but for them to literally sit here and do this, where was all the energy when the Biden administration literally didn't give any types of anything to Americans? And literally was struggling. I feel like so many people are happy with where they're at. And I'm not going to say that they're happy to a certain extent that like everybody is good and everybody is just amazing to where, but I can definitely say that people are definitely way more happier than they would, what I mean, from the Biden administration. That's how I look at it. And that's just me being completely honest. Because I haven't seen too many people complain. I see people complain about things that President Trump does, when it comes to the fouls, they'll bring that up. I'm not saying that, that's true or whatever, but I'm just saying like those are their main talking points when it comes to the fouls, when it comes to, this whole talk with Iran, when it comes to all these things. That's what their main talking points are when it comes down to it. And that's what makes me mad, about it. They're not really talking about anything that truly matters. You know what I mean? It's more so of, I don't like President Trump. Let's bash President Trump because he did this, he did that. Nobody's not complaining about that. They want to sit here and talk about gas prices and grocery prices and this, that, and the other. No. Check this out from Scott Jennings, y'all.
Well, I mean, what does he want them to do? He wants them to not have nuclear weapons. He wants them to not have a ballistic missile program. He wants them to not have an aggressive Navy, and he wants them to not be an exporter of terrorism around the world. Now, whatever happens to the next regime, I don't know, but I know this. We will not permit them to do any of those things. The nuclear piece, to me, is the most important. You cannot have a nuclear-armed Iran. They showed up at the negotiations with Witkoff and said, oh, well, we've got enough material to make 11 nuclear weapons. Well, I think having them described as ultimately being compliant or someone you can work with, I don't think that's the vector. What you have to understand about these people is that they're fanatics. They would like to bring about the end of the world by causing a nuclear war that brings in, the religious piece of this for them. So they're not going to ever be compliant about that. They have this worldview. We have to take away their capacity to enact that worldview, which is to me why the nuclear piece is a vital issue. You cannot have them sitting out there with any material.
For now.
Exactly. And I look at the simple fact, just like I was telling my buddy today. And I know a lot of people will agree with me within saying this. And I have to say this because it's absolutely true when it comes down to it. There are pros and cons, no matter who's president. There are pros, and y'all know I'm gonna be real with y'all. There are pros and cons. Everyone isn't perfect. Not to mention when it comes to war, when it comes to these different things, there are cons, about it. And we don't have to get into that, but y'all know what I mean. But there's also pros when it comes down to it. This is something that they've been talking about. These are ongoing things of 47 years, from my understanding. I'm telling y'all, truly sickening. It does get worse as this conversation on The View goes. Check out right here what Sonny Hostin says about President Trump.
I mean, it's something, to your point, Whoopi, I've said it before, it's very easy to get into a war, very hard to get out of one. And we know that. And I don't think he has a plan. I don't even think he has concepts of a plan at this point. And I think what's... Yeah, like healthcare.
So it's that.
The concepts of a plan on how to get out of Iran.
Yeah.
He's saying there is...
So that's their main thing. He doesn't have concepts of a plan. They love saying that.
No leader. Actually, the son of the person that used to be the leader is considered far more right, is now in charge. And I think these mixed messages really are going to ultimately affect the American people, because it is estimated that this war that we started is costing the American people between $1 and $2 billion a day. And they're estimating that if it goes on for as long as, let's say, some of the other wars, about 40 days, 43 days, it could cost the American people more than $200 billion. To eradicate homelessness in this country, it would only cost $20 billion. So while using this money to wage a war, which is a regime change war, which he said he wouldn't do it, the people that voted for him wanted America first, put America first, and homelessness. Why are gas prices in California $8 a gallon?
It's going up.
$8 a gallon.
That's going up.
Yeah.
My thing is when where's all this talk when it comes down to Gavin Newsom? Where is all this talk when it comes down to how much money was actually spent on illegals? Where's these conversation when it comes down to all the fraud that's happening in California? Why aren't they having these conversations? Why is it always everything is on President Trump? When is it going to be accountability? If you're going to sit here and talk about what President Trump hasn't done, why not talk about what other individuals haven't done or what they've done to Americans? You know what I mean? They're talking about, they spent this much and this, that. Man, again, has Sonny Hostin helped out with anything? Possibly, has Sonny Hostin helped out at all with the homelessness? No, not at all. But they always have something to say. I'm telling y'all. You have Katie Miller here, and she calls it and literally says exactly what I truly been thinking for a while. And I'm sure, and most of y'all probably have, most of y'all haven't, but just check out what she says here.
Look at it more. It's crazy to see what we're spending our money on under President Biden, right? When you have the contrast of all these people complaining about the costs of this war, when in reality, this is what they've chosen to spend our money on. And quickly, I just want to point out that what we've spent on the war so far is less than what Tim Walz has lost from Somali fraud in Minnesota.
Ooh,
Exactly.
That's a good one. Well,
Exactly.
Look at it more-
And it's true. It's definitely true. I'm telling y'all. We don't say Minnesota. We ain't gonna go too. When I tell y'all, and it took me. I ain't gonna say it took me a minute. Obviously, you seeing different things, but just seeing like all the fraud and seeing how bad California even is. But they complain and talk about how this war is costing this and it's costing America. Well, okay, well, why are they not like it's so much fraud going on? They could actually have something to talk about on the View, but they rather take their time out and bash Trump like they always do. I'm telling y'all. And Whoopi, she always makes it completely worse. Check it out.
And there's a whole, we have reserves for this. We have reserves. Where are they?
Oil
Where
reserve?
is our
Oil
oil?
reserve.
Yeah, for gas. When gas gets too much, they bust out the reserves and it brings the price down. So where are the reserves? Where is that? Where is anything that he said other than a lot of misery,
Right.
a lot of pain for people, his people in particular?
Yes, the people that voted for him.
The people who voted for him are feeling it.
Yeah.
I think they're turning a little bit.
No, not at all. I don't know why they keep saying that and why they keep doing it. That's no. Like I don't understand why they keep doing it. Nobody's turning. Anyways, says ignorant of how the left refused to allow Trump to refill the national oil reserves after Biden emptied them. Whoopi Goldberg demands to know why Trump isn't releasing oil to lower prices. Of course, they also don't seem to know that the reserve is not actually for public use, but rather so the military could have fuel in case something happens. Pretty wild. One thing about it, though, and I wanted to put this post in here because, again, this is something that is truly something that I had to put in here because it just goes to show you, and I'm pretty sure I put this clip in here. Yes, I put this clip in here. And I'm going to show y'all this first. And then I'm going to show you this next clip with the View. This is a post from Charlie Kirk. And I'm glad, I threw this post in here. Definitely got to, we always, keep this name, keep his name alive. It's definitely something that want to continue to do. But it definitely, he had a lot of posts, and a lot of great talking points. Said, why does the left welcome illegal aliens with open arms yet leave our great American vets homeless on the streets? California has roughly 11,000 homeless vets. New York City has more than 1,500. And 38,000 are homeless across America. Mind you, this post was in 2019. The left refuses to put America first. Let me tell y'all something. I know for a fact that these numbers are a bit higher, and it's definitely sad, when it comes down to it. But let me show y'all this right quick.
No matter who's on the other end of that, you watch a bomb or a siren or you're in one of these countries, it is a trauma that you don't forget. So no matter who it is, you should have a gut-wrenching feeling that was really hard and that was awful and that was,
Well, they don't have that feeling because to them, we're cannon fodder.
Yes.
They don't care,
because
it's how they also treat our vets. It tells you a lot. You've heard him talk about vets. You've heard what he thinks. Already? All right.
So you literally have these individuals speak on and they say vets and they say this and they say that. Y'all hear me talk about this a lot. I don't feel like there is never not a time that when there's, a story that I'm, checking out or something that, I always look and always bring up they care more so about illegals rather than Americans, especially when it comes down to people who served that's homeless. And I say it all the time. I say it all the time. It's truly sickening that they continue to bash President Trump, but don't call out what's real. you know, to a lot of people. And that's why I do what I do on here. I know a lot of people don't like looking at the view. I know a lot of people don't. But for the people that actually watch the view, that watch my videos, because there are truly people that do, they need to see that. This is in 2023. This was posted in 2023. Again, and it's reasons why I'm putting this in here. And it's definitely sickening. It says America has over 65 homeless vets. 11% of the entire homeless population. Now our vets are being removed from their homes to make room for illegals. Check this out.
It was very disgraceful what they did to the people in Island Shores. They gave us time to get out, but they never said when, and they never said they were going to get us out. And then one day, there's a thing on the board, a notice on the board, you gotta be out by March 15th. I think that gave us like a month and a half to find out where we're gonna go. I thought my suitcases were gonna be on the curb because I'm not that fast. If it wasn't for my daughter, they would have been on the curb. But that's what it happened, and that was it. I said, no, you're not moving me. And they said, yes, we are. And everything was done behind closed doors. Yeah. And we didn't have a chance to actually make any attempt to stop them because there wasn't enough time.
That's sad. And that's the end of that video. But that just goes to show you right there just how sick, you know, individuals are, rather than moving illegal aliens in. And that's what people don't look at. They look at the fact, oh, you're moving people out that like, come on, bro. Like, come on, like you're literally, you got the individuals coming from this country and they work here and this, that, man, like let's be real. Like, let's honestly be real when it comes down to it. Like, this is truly sickening. It's truly sickening to move people who have served for this country. Serve for this country, y'all. And you moving them out. I'm telling y'all. Got it right here. This is a yes or no poll. Do you support ABC officially canceling The View? Put a yes or no in the comments, or, you know, maybe. Let me know in the comments. Definitely appreciate y'all. Much love, everybody. Catch y'all next one.